Hi there, so nice you're watching. This video will be about the next part of our journey through France. And in the last travel video, I've been showing you some pages about my retreat. And I really improved those ones. And I will show you those pages and also from the 2 weeks that we've been traveling with my parents. In this video, also a hidden question can be found. So please watch the full video to answer the question. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss a thing. It really helps the YouTube algorithm showing our channel to other people, and subscribing is for free. We're now in Saint-Georges-Nigremont in the Creuse department in France, and it's a wonderful parking place near to an old town, which you see in the back. And this place where we are with our little Debussy right now, it's a free place offered by the community. It's a small town with just 8 people living here, actually, but surprisingly, there's a creperie, so you can eat pancakes, galettes, and it's just wonderful. So we will eat there tonight again. And there's a church which you can visit, and there's an exhibition, and also you can make lovely walks in the area all around here, this place, so it's great. Let's get to my art journal. In one of my previous videos, I've been showing you a flip through that I've been creating during my retreat. But after the retreat, I've been working on those pages quite long, and you can see how they have been improved. So I first show you now the old pages or unfinished pages, and then afterwards I will show the pages that I have right now. So here are the completed pages, and let's see if you can see the differences. And this one, I fully changed this page. There was just a vague green and, well, some flower shapes. I was planning to do these pages in pink and green, or this kind of green, because there were really nice flowers in pink and white on a table. But I changed my plan because these flowers turned out to be more visible, stand out more with this background. And I planned to do the mini book somewhere else. I planned it to do it here, but I was working on this page, and this is the first page from the retreat. The last one I've been showing you is this one from Peyrusse-le-Roc, but I came to the conclusion that it would be better to put it here. And I want to sew it because I want to see this still, and I want to see the back of the book. So I want to sew it in, but I will do that on the very end of the book, because otherwise the book is getting slightly thicker on this part of the book. So that's not nice to work in. So I will do that in the end when I finally finished the full book. So I will give you a short overview of the flip through. You can see it because it was my guideline to tell the story about the retreat, the behind the scenes. And you can watch that video if you want to see and hear all the stories and see our participants, see the organization. But I will just fast browse through it so you can see the full book, which I also made afterwards. After we had the week of the retreat, I had much more time and I had a good overview of the week. So this was a very nice project. So let's move on to the next page. Also on this page, I did a lot. I only had the arch and it was quite vague. I think I had this flower in already. And I added some more things that I found too precious to not to put in. So this is a thing that we made on the first art session, the first painting session, working with new materials. And I created this one. I don't know which way of working this was, but I found it really like someone holding a candle or something. So I wanted to have that in, and this is another flower study, and this is another flower study that I created from the same flower. And this was already in the book, the text about our first day. And then we have this page. And I've done a lot on this page because this was a leaf with holes in it, but it wasn't coming out very well in a good way. So I thought it would be nice to add some more, well, honesty shapes. And this is from a print from a placemat. So I thought these shapes were kind of the same and it would match very well. And well, yeah, so I really done a lot with this page. And this is the text about this girl. And on this page you see the same shape again, but then I created some pattern. And this is a pattern design that I made a while after, but I found it would really match this. Some dried flowers. This is a piece of fabric from Yvonne, the participant of the retreat. And here's a text about doors, opening doors. And I added another dried flower and some birch leaves and honesty. So it really took me a while to finish this page, and I finished it on the go when I was working on some pages. Sometimes I do more pages in one day, and then I see what I have and I think, oh, wow, that's really nice on this page, for example, that one. Just to give it, well, something extra. It wasn't necessary. If you leave this, it's also okay. But I thought it would be nice to do this. And then it's quite hot today. And what I often do, but not for the video, is put some baking paper, you can see it here, between the pages so they won't cling together. But, well, I hope this is going well because the sun is shining upon my book, and sometimes, well, there's just something happening with the paint. This is a completely new page that I made afterwards, so there was nothing in the book on this page when I showed you my previous flip through. So I have a challenge for myself. I want to have the double white pages, like I will show where they are, like these, when they're two white pages. Then I want to do something with a landscape or something that's filling all of the page. So in this case, I thought, what would be the best thing to do when I think of the retreat? And I was wondering to do some landscape from Rev, from the surroundings of Rev. But then I thought this studio was my working place, and here was the place to be. This was the place where we had so much fun creating all together. And I especially loved this jelly prints hanging there. There were some dried leaves, some dried flowers there. The table with some kind of, well, all kind of painting materials, more painting materials. And of course, the vine that was hanging, which you can see from the outside. So here's the view from the outside in, and here is the view from the inside. This is what you saw when you were working, well, at these places or something, these spots. And well, I was really happy with this page. And in the previous video about the retreat, you can also see that I had a couple of cards, a mini collage, and I discovered I had 13 of those. So there needed to be 12 to put a full collage in a larger book. So I haven't put the collage into this book. I will put it in the book that I have at home, because that's fitting, and all the students had a larger book as well. And I thought it would be nice if I had this, well, kind of balloon shape. I think it's a rose leaf, rose petal. I added some eggshells. And here were just some things that the students left in the studio after the week was finished. They left some things, and I thought it would be nice. They were matching these colors, these feathers, and well, I just added some things. This is I think it's a kitchen towel or a cleaning tissue. I don't know what it is, but I thought it would be nice. And maybe this page isn't fully completed. I don't know yet, but well, especially on this part of the page, there can be added something, but for now it's okay. Now we have the page where I planned to do my little book about the retreat. It was planned to do it here, so I was thinking about the colors, and I really love using these jelly prints fully. And what some students of mine did was putting it on in the middle of the page, so it is on both of the pages. So what I also loved was adding this leaf, and this is the print of the leaf, so we have two of the same. And I simply added some patterns here and there, and this I added later when I decided that I didn't want to have the mini book in this book. This is, by the way, a jelly print of the plates that we had for dinner. So this is the last page about Rev. After we left Rev, we went to a city called Villefranche-de-Rouergue, and it was a great place. In Villefranche, we went to a camping with my parents, and the first day there was a market and we wanted to visit it, but it was already late, and we stumbled upon another market that was in a community hall, and it was a poetry market. And there were not just people who writing poems, but there were also a lot of artists, and I love buying things from other artists. And I had a wonderful conversation with Marie-Jo, and I found this card so amazing. A poppy, one of my favorite flowers. Maybe I added in my book, but on the back of it, there's a little poem in French. Coquelicot, ma muse, mon modèle, mon rêve de dentelle. And it means poppy, my muse, my model, my dream of lace. And also, she wrote a children's book about the voyage of water. I will put the link of her in the description. And she wrote something down for me. And it was really great because I wanted to exercise my French, and this is for children, so this is French that I can understand quite easy. I thought it is a nice book, maybe to read for the children at home. I also met Angelika Geigel. She's a German artist, but in French she called her Atelier Angélique. And it was wonderful to meet her and to have a nice conversation in English. That was also a good thing. And she creates colorful art. And I definitely had to buy this one from her cat. And it's packed in a little box. So that was very nice to be on the market. I also picked kind of a card, oracle card, and it was the text on the card. It's I wrote it down here, Trinité. And here I wrote down a text intuitively about our days in Villefranche. This was a piece of a scarf that my mom gave to me to use for the art journal. This star I found on the ground. I think there was a wedding in Villefranche. And well, this was a party. We haven't been there, but it was nice to put this in the art journal as well. And I think this is an old book, maybe a Bible. I don't know what it is exactly, but some letters are mirrored, I think. This is from the organic courgette bag. And I'm really in love with this, especially when the colors are not that dominant, are very earthy. I love to use those things. And I think this is a bag of the bread, croissants. And it's nice because this is overlapping parts of the poster, of the flyer from the party. And this one I found really nice. This was kind of a decoration with hearts. And I really love to use this. This is something that I normally don't use because there's gold in it and there's black in it. And then I looked at this page and I thought, I have this star, I have this black, black, black. Ah, nice. I can put it here. This is another piece of the scarf, the same scarf, but this is I think it's the end of the scarf. So I really love this raveling. Then we have a page about the caves in Foissac. And it was a nice visit. This page isn't finished yet. I want to bring in more details here, so I will definitely show you the page when it's finished. But it was a white page, a white spread again, so I had to do a landscape or something, double pages. And this is what I mean with the pages clinging together. So a piece of the paint will go to the other page and then there will be white dots, but I will restore that when I'm working on that page, so it will be good. And now we have and of course we wanted to show my parents Peyrusse-le-Roc, our favorite place to stay with our camper van. So this is my page about that. Also, my parents loved to be in Peyrusse-le-Roc. We did a nice walk in the ancient town, in the ruins, and we had a lovely time, but it was quite warm. On our last evening before we part ways, there was a nice concert, something Baroque with a choir. And this is actually the flyer of the food truck. We haven't been there this time, but last time we've been there. This is the region. This was from a newspaper. It's lovely to use newspapers because they have all different kind of fonts they use. I also love using the croissant bags. And there's another text. This is about the choir, and this woman was one of the solo singers, soprano, and I found she was very good. And afterwards I added some patterns, and of course I added the scarf of my mom, which is also continuing here. So I really like it when you have something that have already, well, these colors, it's my rule to use those colors for the rest of the pages. So everything that's orange I can use on this page. So these are, well, slightly orange. These were both orange, but they were very like, woo, too dominant. So I even brought some thin watery paint on it, but then still I found them too dominant. So I decided to make a little flop. And this was actually still from Foissac, so the place where we also went to the caves. This was from a goat farm, and it's, well, they really had wonderful goat cheese. And this is the final page that I've been creating in Peyrusse-le-Roc. For this page I also had a piece of fabric that was my guideline for the rest of the page. I also had a bag of bread. I think this was a baguette. And there was also a bit pink in it. So I wanted to bring in the pink, but not too dominant. So this is a piece of locked-up paper that I used. And how you open this flap, it's like this. Open. Then you have this page. This is something out of a magazine, which I normally don't do, but this is the scores of a card game that we played with my mom. And I lost. My mom won. And this is already on another place. We also went to an auberge, an inn, and had some lovely food, but it was very much. We had sausages and bread, and then we had aligot. It's mashed potatoes with cheese and a sausage, and I think some vegetables. And afterwards we had fresh apple pie. So it was pretty much, especially we're not big eaters, and we had the food on ref. So this was really like you get a plate and with much, like if it's a trucker's cafe or something, it was so much food. So we kept the apple pie for the other day. Here's some eggshells again, because this is almost the same color palette that I used for the other eggshell page. This one. And sometimes it's nice to bring in some things you have done already. And in Peyrusse-le-Roc, this was the day after we left Peyrusse-le-Roc, so it's still on this page. But in Peyrusse-le-Roc I wrote a song. It's not finished yet, but it's called Forget-Me-Not. And I plucked the forget-me-nots and dried them and put them in my book. My feet have walked here before. Over cobblestones I smell the sweet hay. The golden rule, never visit the same place twice. That's not the case here. Leaving you now. With so many joyful moments, I will return one day. Walk through the fields and pluck forget-me-not. Our next stop was Vallon-Pont-d'Arc, which was a place where we've been before. And there was a flea market on Sunday, so we wanted to be there. But I also did some art journaling. It was a very small market, so I had plenty time to work in this portrait art journal. So in Vallon-Pont-d'Arc, I created some portraits. It's been a while since I created those, so I thought it was time to do some portraits. And often that goes with some inner work. So this is really about going inwards, and it says, inside is the gold, the true gold. That's why there's also a piece of golden fabric and some lace, which you can open and close. Lace is also, for me, about layers, because here is another layer of lace, and there's another face. Could be a song as well. And here you can see that I was still a bit in the same color palette, because I used the same fabric as I used for this page. That's not accidentally, it's just because that's my mood for those couple of days, and then I use those pieces in both of the books, so you can often see that I created some pages in the same period. These faces popped up, and this text is about that you have more faces, more thoughts going behind other thoughts. So what's your true face? It's about that. This is the final page that I created in Vallon-Pont-d'Arc. And from this one, I'm not sure if this is finished, but I could add a face here. I love this because these were faces that were on tape. And this is actually a character from my children's book that I wrote a couple of years ago. So she has no body. These are her legs, because she is a marble. This was actually a page that I started and finished at home. But after that, there are some pages that I have already showed you. So already shown you. So this is a page that I want to show you and want to tell something about, because this is also the net of the courgettes. But this one has larger distances, larger holes than this one, but it's really nice. It's almost looking like, well, handwork, embroidery. I really love it. And it's a very textural page with, I think, prints of the burlap. Here also prints of the burlap with old fabric. I don't know where that came from, but it's really nice. And there's an English text as well. And it's about the mermaid here. This is a mermaid and she is between the land and the sea. So that was it for this week. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment. And don't forget to answer the hidden question of this week, which is what's your very favorite color to work with and from which brand is it? If we have a little luck, we will hear the pretty church bells because it's almost 12 o'clock, it's almost noon. And well, the next video will be about the lavender fields. So if you want to see that, please turn on the notification bell and I will see you next time. So there it is. It's lunchtime. I see you next week. Bye bye.